Alrighty, guys, where's everyone from?
Nibley.
Nibley?
Eagle.
You get lost getting up here?
Nope.
Ooh.
Nephi.
Nephi?
Eagle Mountain.
Eagle Mountain?
Logan.
Logan?
Elwood.
Elwood? Alrighty, well, welcome everybody. Came out here from Hardware Ranch to Hardware or Hardware WMA, Wildlife Management Area. In the state of Utah, in the state of Utah, there's over 193 wildlife management areas. Of those locations, there's over 500,000 acres devoted to these wildlife management areas. The first acreage here at Hardware was purchased in 1940, where they purchased just shy of 2,500 acres. They continue to buy land all the way up till 2015, which now we currently sit on just shy of 15,000 acres. So 15,000 acres are part of that 500,000 acres. Interesting thing about these WMAs is the way they were created and the way that they were funded. They can never be sold. So as populated as Utah becomes, there's always going to be 500,000 acres devoted to these wildlife management areas, which is neat. These animals have a place that they can flourish in the best of their abilities, which is neat. 5 years later, so 1945 is when they started the feeding program. They started the feeding program because as the winters came, the elk were just wreaking havoc down in the valley, going through farm to farm and eating the hay crops. As you can imagine, the farmers didn't appreciate that. So in 1945, they started the feeding here in hoping that they would try to draw some of that elk from going down into the valley. That first year, they fed about 125 head of elk. Now they feed anywhere from 300 to 600 head at a given time. Any questions?
How many are here right now?
Between 400 to 500. Wow. Now, I heard some of you talk about the one antler elk over there.
Yeah.
We named that one Max off the Grinch. Now, that is an interesting elk within itself. That is actually a cow with an antler.
Oh, really?
No way.
It is. We talked to the biologist yesterday about it. They finally came out yesterday, and we were asking questions about her, and they believe that she had some sort of traumatic incident when she was younger that had messed with her hormones, which allowed that antler to grow. They don't think it's ever fallen off. Excuse me. And they don't believe it ever will. So we asked the question, then at that point, does that become a horn? Because antlers shed, horns do not. Their reply was, no, it's still considered an antler, even though we don't believe that it'll ever shed. But yeah, she is pregnant. They say about 80% of the cows here right now are pregnant. Now, if you guys look out there in the distance, you'll see that green fenced area out here, out this way. That's the trap. That's where they'll trap about 40 to 60 elk at a given time. They're running into what they call a squeeze chute. It's like a big funnel, basically. Easiest way to put it. There, they'll draw their blood and test it for certain diseases. Excuse me. Checking for certain diseases like brucellosis is a major one. Brucellosis is a virus that'll actually abort the calf in utero. And then once the cow gets it, that cow can no longer have calves. So it's a big deal, and it's easily transmitted from animal to animal. So they try to keep a close eye on it, especially with these elk getting down into the farms. That just wreaks havoc. Brucellosis.
So has she ever, Max, has she ever had a calf
I don't know that. We don't know that. This is her first year here, and they trapped her. Luckily they trapped her the first of the season, so they were able to run some tests on her and different things like that. And that's what the information we have from her is what we just gathered from this year. So,
Do you know how old she is?
They said that she's about 3 years old.
Wow.
But
Where do they get the hay and to feed them?
This meadow and the lower meadow you guys passed coming in.
So they farm their own hay?
Yes, sir. There's about 700 acres here that are not open to public, and that's just because that's where they grow the hay. But it's grown here, cut here, baled here, ate here, circle of life.
Wow.
So during the feeding season, they'll go through about 200, 300 tons of hay. Broken down per day per elk, it's about 8 to 10 pounds. So